Hey, are you a podiatrist and you want to grow your business to the next level without getting any rejections or denials, and you want all your payments to your bank account? Then this video is going to be the game changer. I'm Arun Kumar, a certified professional coder and biller. I have been helping a lot of podiatrists in billing and coding. This is the first part of podiatry billing and coding. There are 2 more videos yet to come. I don't want to waste your time. Let's get into the video. Let's see how to code for trimming of nails. There are 2 codes used for trimming of nails, G0127 and 11719. The code G0127 is for trimming of dystrophic nails, any numbers. The primary diagnosis should be nail dystrophy, which is L60.3, and the secondary diagnosis should be PVD or diabetes with PVD. Q modifier is required for this code. The diagnosis and the modifier tells the insurance that the patient is at risk. Then only insurance covers this code. Mention date of last seen by the primary care physician within last 6 months. You cannot assume a date and enter it on a claim form. Nowadays, everything is automated, so you have to be accurate on date of last seen. And don't forget to mention the referring provider name and the NPA number on the claim form. Code 11719 is for trimming of non-dystrophic nails, any numbers. The primary diagnosis should be PVD or diabetes with PVD. Secondary diagnosis is not required for this code, but Q modifier is required on this code. The diagnosis code and the Q modifier justifies the patient is at risk. Date of last seen by the primary care physician within last 6 months is required on the claim. Don't forget to mention the referring provider name and NPA number on the claim form. Let's see how to code for debridement of nails. There are 2 codes used for debridement of nails, 11720 and 11721. The code 11720 is for debridement of nails by any methods, 1 to 5 nails. If it is 6 or more nails, then you have to code 11721. Note, code 11720 and 11721 cannot be built together. The primary diagnosis should be B35.1, tinea unguium, and the secondary diagnosis should be PVD or diabetes with PVD or pain in toes or pain in foot. Q modifier is required on this claim. Date of last seen by the primary care physician within the last 6 months is required on the claim. And don't forget to mention the referring provider name and NPA number on the claim form. Now let's see how to code for corn and callus removal. There are 3 codes used for corn and callus removal, 11055, 56 and 57. 11055 is for single lesion of removal, 56 is for 2 to 4 lesions, 57 is for more than 4 lesions. The primary diagnosis should be L84, corn and callusitis. The secondary diagnosis should be PVD or diabetes with PVD. Q modifier is required on this claim. Date of last seen by the primary care physician within last 6 months is required on the claim, and don't forget to mention the referring provider name and NPA number on the claim form. Note, trimming of nails, debridement of nails, and removal of corn and callusitis can be billable once in every 60 days. The diagnosis and modifier for trimming of nails, debridement of nails, removal of corn and callusitis, which I told you was general. If you want more specific instructions, follow your LCD guidelines. Hey, are you a podiatrist and you want me to help you on your billing and coding? Don't hesitate to reach me out. Just an email can change a lot of things. In order to use Q modifiers, you should know what is Class A, Class B, and Class C findings. Let's see what is Class A findings. This refers to removal of portion of foot or the complete foot due to chronic conditions like diabetes, PVD, or infection. Note, you cannot consider Class A findings when the patient had amputation of foot due to injury or accident. Let's see what is Class B findings. These are all the things that comes under Class B findings. Absent of posterior tibial pulse, absent of dorsalis pedis pulse, advanced trophic changes like decrease or absence of hair growth, thickening of nails, discoloration of nails, thin or shiny skin texture, skin color change to red. Now let's see what is Class C findings. These are all the things that comes under Class C findings. The first one, claudication. Claudication refers to leg pain while walking. This usually occurs because of the inadequate blood supply to the leg muscle due to narrowed arteries. It's a common symptom for PAD, peripheral artery disease. Temperature changes, example, cold feet. Edema, example, swelling. Parathesis, example, tingling or numbness. And the last one is burning sensation. Now let's see how to pick right Q modifier based on Class A, Class B and Class C findings. When the patient has only Class A findings, then you have to pick Q7 modifier. When the patient has 2 Class B findings, then you have to pick Q8 modifier. When the patient has 1 Class B findings and 2 Class C findings, then you have to pick Q9 modifier. When the document is incomplete and you're not able to pick the right modifier, then educate your provider. You cannot assume and give any Q modifier. You have to be more specific on the Q modifier based on your documentation. How to code avulsion, matricectomy and wedge excision procedure. Let's start with avulsion. Avulsion means separating the nail plate from the nail bed using nail elevators or iris scissors. When the provider performs single nail plate avulsion, partial or complete, you have to use code 11730. For each additional nail plates, you have to use add-on code 11732. For example, when the provider performs avulsion of nail plate in 4 toes, then you have to code 11730 for the first nail plate. For the remaining 3 nail plates, you have to code 11732 with 3 units. Always remember, the code 11732 is an add-on code. You cannot bill it separately. When the provider removes part of toenail or the complete toenail, including the nail plate and matrix, then you have to code 11750, excision of nail and nail matrix. This procedure is also called as matricectomy. When the provider removes the lateral edge of nail, then you have to code 11765, wedge excision of skin of nail fold. Note, this procedure does not include removal of nail plate or matrix. I hope you learned how to pick the right code for avulsion, matricectomy and wedge excision. Now let's see how to code the correct diagnosis and modifier for above codes. The primary diagnosis for above codes should be ingrown toenail, infections, laceration, crush injury or other wounds of the nail. Secondary diagnosis is not required for above codes. Make sure that the procedure meets the reasonable and medical necessity standards. Check the LCD policy or payer specific guidelines. Ensure that the documentation includes the diagnosis and procedure performed. P modifier is required on this claim. This specifies the insurance on which toenail the procedure was performed.